Welcome to the Nice Guy Podcast. This is episode 9. Oh my goodness, we're so close to episode 10. I can barely taste it because I don't know. It's been a little weird these past weeks cuz really pretty much I just saw the news for the NFL and man, I'm so disappointed in myself or just disappointed in his choices that Tom Brady is coming back to the NFL for his 23rd year. I am so upset to myself. I'm so upset. I feel like I jinxed it, like he would come back to myself because I'd say that, oh yeah, he's gonna come back for another season. Probably, he's gonna hit us with another year of his football season, and I'm like, we could get another season with him, but he's coming back, which is pretty, it's pretty disappointing for me, because I feel like if he plays another season, he'd probably come back stronger and probably better than ever. Like his last run, you know. But no, I don't really know. They already confirmed that he's coming back for another season, which is nice, but I don't know, man. I don't have an opinion towards these things because I don't really know much of the guy, and I just know that he's a good player in the NFL. And this podcast is sponsored by Life. Life is pretty much everything in the world, you know. But yet again, we still have no sponsor. Um, but yeah, there's no sponsor. We have another episode. This is episode 9. Pretty much this day is kind of crazy but weird. Pretty much the whole world is weird cuz weather's weird, really weird. Right now it was supposed to be raining. I don't see any rain. It's just cold and a little cloudy. I think it will rain, but not really. I'm not really sure in the fact of saying, yeah, it's going to rain or it's going to be, I don't know. I can't explain how I'm supposed to say this because it's so weird. And I could say like, oh yeah, you're from here. Oh, it's probably, I don't know, cloudy or pretty much cold. But right now it's cold. It's just regular cold. It's not like freezing temperatures, but it's cold. But yeah, I don't understand the whole thing, but I want to give it the best guess ever and say that it's pretty much the global warming stuff is like messing with us. But also, I don't know. I just don't know. But right now, there's a lot of things happening, like this whole um gas thing. Oh my goodness, that's a new one. I would never expect that gas prices would go like really high, and I would think that it's something, but I started to see the whole thing of saying, "Oh yeah, they're starting to steal the gas from people's cars," which is very unfortunate either way. Like it sucks for the people that are victims of that. Like I feel bad for you, but also I don't get what's their mindset of saying, "Yeah, let's steal some gas from someone else's car." And the only people that are safe, no one's safe at this point. I would say the only people that are safe right now are pretty much people with like electric cars, cuz who would use lithium on their car? Well, except for the battery, but 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 like just saying in like they don't electric cars don't use gas. They don't ever use gas, which is weird, but either way it's their own thing. But either way, it's kind of unfortunate of saying, yeah, there's people stealing gas from other people that are utter strangers to each other, which is bad. I hope it doesn't happen to you guys, around the world or just locally to me. But yeah, I feel oh my goodness, this is bad for a lot of people. But a lot of things is saying that yeah, I don't know. We're not at a good time right now. But saying nonetheless is that man, well, right now at the moment, I have spring break for school. It's pretty chill. But I have the time to make this episode. Have loads of time to do it. I get to relax a little bit, and then maybe just maybe I can travel. But who knows? Who knows? I probably will. But yeah, I will still post this video on time, on quotes, on time, and also we'll still have the same gameplay as ever. The 10th episode, I'm gonna try to get a guest in. That will be a big possibility that I will have one because I have been planning it. But also, yeah, we already did. I already mention that I already have 40 subscribers now, which is pretty crazy, which is nice. I feel like I did something, which is pretty good. I'm pretty excited to make more content. I'm still working on the what's it called, the commercials channel, because I'm still in awe that I have to do that as well. I don't think it's that much, but I feel like it's gonna be a lot to be doing on. But yeah, uh, what else is out there in the world right now? There's pretty much a lot of good stuff like movies. Right now, there's the whole thing of the Batman movie. I haven't watched it. I bet it's good. Everyone's People are saying it's good, but also they're saying like, oh, the character is bad. Oh, the character development is bad. It's Batman. What do you expect from Batman? To be like the happiest dude ever? Like the guy is a rich millionaire that like fights crime when he's bored, pretty much. I'm not saying that I'm not a big fan of. I would say I'm a big fan of Batman, but I'm not a big fan of this new Batman. The new actor, cuz he people are saying that he barely talked, and I haven't seen it, and I'm saying you probably just watched the movie just because people were saying it's good, but I will see my own opinion sooner or later. Uh, but they're saying that they're gonna put them in streaming services at like April 20 something. I'm not very sure. Don't quote me on that one because there's a lot of streaming services out there like HBO, Netflix, Disney Plus. What else? There's Paramount Plus. Like nobody uses Paramount Plus. Like you'll probably just use it for like, I don't know, your 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 what's it called? Your Nickelodeon, or probably just the new like special of South Park. That's all. That's all because I you could see the same things but in HBO Max. But obviously in HBO Max you have to pay for ads, or I pay for no ads. Sorry. Pay for no ads, and like they still make more money. But I have HBO Max. It's pretty cool. I like it. I've been using it for like a month or two, maybe like 3 months ish. I'm not very sure. All right, but I enjoy it. It's very good. But they have so many shows that I've never seen. But I just watch HBO Max for the movies, because there's so many movies that I haven't watched, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can watch it on my phone, which is not recommendable for me because I have such a tiny phone. I have the SE second gen. Um, such a tiny phone, but it can do a lot. Either way. But I prefer watching it on like a laptop or my computer or pretty much my living room because I have a speaker there. Uh, and it's a pretty good speaker. But also, I would I recommend as well Disney Plus because it has all of the Disney and Pixar movies at the same app. You don't have to pay extra for ads or whatever, and they have that package with the Hulu, ESPN Plus, and Disney Plus on the same package for one price. I think we got that one. I'm not very sure. I think we have it, but I don't even know what's the point of ESPN Plus. I think you could just like use ESPN Plus for like, I don't know, football, like all of the sports, But if you try to like get like the main events like boxing or like UFC fights, you probably have to pay a certain price just to watch them in a certain time. And like seeing that people will still make money, no, just companies themselves will still make money even though they will also how do you say it? Just pretty much just make release more stuff, you know? HBO always releases more stuff every single like I don't know, Friday cuz I watch HBO more often on the weekends. They release a lot of stuff. They release like movies, old movies, but also recent movies like Dune. Oh my god, that movie was trash. That movie was the worst one cuz like it was literally about like a world of spices. The sand is literally made out of spices that makes you money that people can sell, but also what else? It was a kingdom. The people that make that collect the spices or whatever. They do that for like years and years, and then but they also are warriors that fight. And then there's and then there's the main character. Obviously, the main character has to be a better looking dude than everyone else in the in the movie. But they had the actor from Aquaman, which is pretty cool. He barely had lines, which sucked. I would have liked him to say more in the movie or been more of a character in the movie. And then everyone was like, and then in the trailer they had Zendaya, which people were like, "Oh my god, it's Zendaya! Oh my god!" And then she didn't even talk. She only came for like 5 minutes, and it was like a 2 hour movie. I think it was a 2 hour movie, but it was a 2 hour movie, and it sucked. I even almost fell asleep in the movie. My dad, we were watching it together, and I think we watched it in IMAX or like the better version of IMAX, and I fell asleep. I fell asleep on a movie. I never fall asleep in a movie because I have so much high expectations on a movie that I would be like, okay, I have to prepare myself mentally and also just my sleep schedule cuz I'll mess with my sleep schedule in the weekend because I want to stay up like late, quote unquote late, but I just sleep like at 12 or something. But yeah, like it was so bad. The movie was so bad. I didn't like it. I was like, eh, it was good. And like the trailer looked like it was supposed to be an action movie, like a it was a sci-fi movie. First of all, like it was supposed to be sci-fi, and like in the scenes that they would show, it would be like a bunch of war, and I'm like, oh okay, we're gonna see a lot of war in this thing in this movie, and there was only like 10 minutes of footage of war. Meanwhile, the rest of the movie was literally just talking about the government and like the bad person that was supposed to attack them, which pretty much I think he succeeded, but also failed at the same time because apparently he was killed, but at the end of the movie he was revived or like healed, one of the two. But and then they're like, "Oh yeah, we're making a we're making another movie," and everyone got excited for it. And I was like, I guess, congrats, because they got popular just because of I have a theory that it just might be Zendaya because it was like, oh, her face is on the movie screen. Oh, it's the best movie. It wasn't. I didn't like it. You might have an opinion of saying, "Oh, it was the best movie." I didn't like it at all. But another movie that I liked was pretty much what's the most recent one I watched? Free Guy. Oh, Free Guy. Free Guy was good. Another recent one that I watched was Free Guy. It was a pretty good movie. I watched it in HBO as well. Um, they have it. It was just like another like video game type world. It's just like Ready Player One. Like Ready Player One was like it was all virtual reality, but you were just making a big world with multiple games inside of that. You can customize your character, all of that stuff, blah blah blah. but also you had to like they had like a challenge that you had to do. You completed the challenge, you would get like the contract of the company, and also what else? What else? What else? What else would you get? The I think you would get like a lot of money, but also the company name in your name legally. And then at the end, the main character wins with his friends, obviously, because apparently his friends helped him. And I think the guy that was supposed to, or the bad guy or whatever you want to call him, he got arrested for like I don't know, or just being a bad person or pretty much pointing a gun at a kid. But yeah, Free Guy was pretty much another like another gaming type movie, and it was pretty much based off of like making like a GTA related video game that you just like, oh, you make your own character, you have your own story, but also you rob banks, and also you have the other thing. But this time you have the point of view of the NPCs, um the non-players, you know. You have the 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 view of the NPCs. They're always happy. They always live the same lives. Like they never change. But then one time the main character said, "You know what? Screw this. I want to change." And then he started becoming one of the actual players, which the company thought that they were hackers, and pretty much it was a singular hacker. But they're saying that I liked it. I personally liked it. But the worst part it was that man, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. The worst part that they actually just brought up was bringing like very famous streamers. I feel like they were basically forced to be in the movie because they have bigger names, and I'm like, it was a good movie, but yeesh, like I don't think it was very appropriate to bring various, not various, you could say like a couple. How many was there? I think there was five big name streamers that were there in the movie, and I would say, first of all, I enjoy watching them sometimes. But I don't want to see them in a movie that I will be like, oh, they're basically forced to be there. But I don't know. I don't know. It's my opinion. I think that it was a good movie. At the end of the day, it was a good movie. Um, would recommend it for the viewers that haven't watched it. Another movie would be Sing 2, pretty much a second movie of Sing, because they pretty much just added more to the story that was pretty much unnecessary. And I would think that they just had like they just had to bring another movie. But the second movies for every single like trilogy or every single like what's the name? Probably I would just say like like the series of movies that they make. I bet that I would always say that the first one was the best one, because that's when you learn the characters and like you get to know more about them. And then the second one, they just like bring like a bad guy, or like they bring like something else, you know. But I feel like I prefer the first movie. You know, Sing 2, it was pretty disappointing. I didn't like it. I liked it. I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't say it was the best movie that I've ever seen. But like they just brought up like a whole new like what's it called? Like a new type of, I don't know, like a competition, because it's pretty much a singing competition. And they just brought like a new set of characters, fresh new characters, but also they're all animals, man. What do you expect from a monkey, you know? What do you expect from like a cat, you know? Like I don't know. They all have their own talents, but also they bring um a lot of artists, which is pretty cool. I like it. I like that they bring variety of music. Like they bring like classical music, they'll bring rock, they'll bring a little bit of hip hop, but also pretty gentle jazz. Uh, just like just like how the B movie did with jazz, because they brought up jazz, but also they're like, oh yeah, it's a meme now, and they're like, oh okay, it's a meme. But a lot of things that I would say the second movie is never the best movie. You know, I might be wrong. I would debate on saying another series of movies, like I don't know, Harry Potter. Harry Potter has been like bringing up more stories towards the lore of Harry, you know, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. He had a mother, father, and then they both died. Uh, they sacrificed themselves for him, but now he has friends that are wizards, but also like I don't know, learn in the same school as him, but also he has a like a very dark backstory. He brings up always his dark past. Not his dark past. It's just like just very very sad past because his parents died. Jeez, like how would you feel if your parents died? You know. But there's a lot of movies out there and shows, obviously. Probably my number one show that I would say that I liked personally, uh, would probably say Supernatural because that is such a good show. It's pretty much about two brothers that lost their mom when they were babies, and their family, the family business, quote unquote family business, is pretty much hunting monsters and demons. I liked it. I really liked it. They messed around with a lot of like I don't know God stuff because they would bring angels towards the whole thing. That's saying angels are believers and demons are bad. And yeah, they did that. And then they bring witches as well. Oh, the witches were always the very cool ones. There was some of them that were evil, but but also became good at almost the end of the shows or the season. Would recommend that one. That like highly recommend that show because that was a good show. They ran, I think, 10 seasons. 10 seasons was wow. That was a pretty good. And like every single season, they would bring like a new species of monster. They would have like a vampire. They would have like an actual demon, a better demon than the other demon. Like they would make up new stuff, like fresh new stuff. I think the worst one was like uh leviathans. They were pretty much monsters that eat humans, and they'd pretty much eat the human, and like when they would like eat the person or like bite them or kill them in a certain way, they'd pretty much just like open their mouths, and then like CGI would come in and they cover their whole face, and it just becomes one mouth with various sharp teeth. Yeah, that's what it was. That was what it pretty much was. But really freaky stuff, but also really good stories, because you get to learn a lot about the brothers themselves, because they're so united, but one of them always wants to be like the tougher one than the other because he wants to protect his brother. That's all he wants to do. But like his younger brother won't stop insisting of saying, "Yeah, I will protect you then." But like it's a whole thing, and you'll think about why you're watching it. Um, but yeah, it was a pretty good show. They have a little bit of humor. Oh my goodness! Like when like hunters would meet other hunters, they're like, "Oh my god, you're this guy," and they're like, "Yeah. Oh, I am sorry for your father and your mother's loss. I'm sorry for your loss." And they're like, "Oh, that's fine. We already avenged it like a couple years back. It's nothing. It's nothing to worry about really, because it was pretty much uh like it was pretty much like a whole thing of avenging pretty much the family themselves, the family name, and saying that yeah, we did this, but also there's a demon, the new demon right next to you. There's a new problem towards to another. One problem to the other. Um, would still recommend it. Give it a watch. But yeah, this is pretty much the Nice Guy podcast, episode 9. Next week we'll bring episode 10. Yes, episode 10. On time, obviously. Obviously, what type of person am I to just say not on time? But yeah, we'll do something else. But yeah, thank you guys for listening to the Nice Guy podcast, and I'll see you guys later.